What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And welcome back to my monthly series, should you start playing Dissidia Opera Omnia, and this time it's going to be for the month of August 2020. Now we have a lot to go through, but before we go through, remember to hit that like button and of course hit the subscribe button as well. It does help my channel guys, and I really do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. Also, let's go for 200 likes for this video as our like goals for this video. Now with that in mind and without further ado, let's start this video. Okay guys, the first thing that I want to go through with you guys is obviously going to be the LD and Burst era. Now there might be some confusion, especially for new players who don't actually follow the Japanese version of the game, seeing as we usually label the era that we're in depending on the endgame content that we have in the Dissidia Opera Omnia. For example, we had the EX era, we had the Cosmos era, and we had the Chaos era. Now we are moving into the LD and Burst era, and this isn't exactly a power creep on the endgame content that we are getting, but a power creep more for the players. So this is introducing two new weapons, the LD weapon and the Burst weapon. I will be trying my best to make this as simple as possible. However, if you do have any questions, you're welcome to leave it down in the comments below, or if you want to read through a much more detailed explanation of what you are going to be expecting, I will leave down in the description below a link to the Tonberry Troop, which you can actually look at their infographics, because I think it is the most simplest way to answer all your frequently asked questions, and of course they try to simplify as much as possible what you are going to be expecting in the LD and the Burst era. Now in saying all that, of course I have my own views on how to simplify the LD and Burst weapon to you guys, and this is my point of view. Now LD weapons basically give you an extra skill, which I think we should just call skill 3 at this point. This can be limit broken using the power stones or jupes, just like your 15 and 35 CP weapon. This will have a max of 100 CP in the end, so your EX Plus weapon still will have more CP to offer to you. This will however will not be affected by the free skill usage or increased skill count effects, so this will have a very limited amount of skill usage. So for example, if Yuri gets a LD weapon in the future, when he uses his EX, basically he gets increase in skill usage. The LD skill will not be affected by this, so just something to really think about when you are going to be using some LD skills. And finally, the last thing is all the passives that you get from the LD weapon will require 0 CP. So after you max limit break it, you can just sell it off if you do have a much powerful weapon at your disposal, i.e. a maxed out EX Plus weapon, or of course the Burst weapon. Now speaking of the Burst weapon, this is how I will simplify the Burst weapon. It gives you this summon-like phase where you can have 5 free turns with the character that has the Burst weapon. If you do end up tapping it or clicking it, basically you get 5 free turns to use as basically one of each ability usage that you have for that character. So you can use their skill 1, skill 2, LD, and your additional ability. So, and then you can, if you have any refresher ability usage, like again, for example, if you use if Yuri does get a Burst weapon, just for example, if you actually use his skill 1, skill 2, and then use his EX, you can actually go back and use your skill 1 or skill 2 once again, and then use the LD skill or whatever. So basically there is some sort of rotation that you can do for certain characters to maximize them as much as possible. The next one is this weapon cannot be limit broken and will have a max of 130 CP at the start of, when you do get it straight away. and this will actually give a unique effect as well after the burst phase. Now the effect can vary from character to character. Basically it can give party-wide buffs, or can give the character some buffs as well, so it's a bit of a mixed bag, so you just have to pay attention what they actually do. And finally, you can only use the one burst per fight. So the burst phase, basically you can only do this once, just like a summon. So even if you have multiple characters that have burst weapons equipped to them, once you use one of them, you can't use any of the others anymore. Now I do hope that simplified the LD and burst weapon as much as possible, for especially for new players out there. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Okay, so the next thing that we should talk about really is going to be the availability of both these weapons. Now the LD weapon will be available for all release characters. So starting from now on, every banner will have some sort of LD weapon attached to them. However, the bursts will only be available for the main protagonist and main antagonist of the main series games. So yeah, unfortunately you can't be expecting like Aerith to get a burst weapon at this point in time, seeing as Cloud is going to be the main protagonist of Final Fantasy VII. So he's the only one currently at the time of this recording that they have plans to actually release. So one, the main protagonist and the main antagonist. Now I guess how they will spread out the LD and the burst weapons are going to be, the LD weapons is going to come out at the same time as the burst weapon for certain characters, and that will be available for 2 banners. Basically the release of that burst and LD weapon, there will always be 2 banners for you to choose from, and basically the LD will be available for that. Now the burst weapon will actually span across different banners, so it will move to, I believe, 2 to 3 banners. I believe 3 is usually the case. So for example, Squall is going to be getting his burst weapon first, and it will span along Ultimicia's Lost chapter and up to a Mid-Alliance event. So you will have the chance to grab Squall's burst weapon all across those banners. So it's not exactly ideal to chase for burst weapons, at least until towards maybe the end, maybe the last banner where you can grab it. And if you really like that weapon, you know, if you really like that character, sorry, you probably will chase after it at the start, but there are few more chances to grab those burst weapons. Now next up is going to be a big one, and I will no longer be off banner Munch. So they are taking off all the off banner weapons in the new rates. So there will be new rates, 0.1% for tickets for the burst weapon. You get 3% chance to get it if you're doing a multi. 0.5% for the LD weapon, 5% for the LD weapon for multis. EX weapon will have an increase in the rates, 0.75% for single pulls or slash tickets, 7.5% for the multis. Now it is important to note here that the 35 CP weapon, it stays exactly the same. However, the 15 CP weapon actually sees a decrease in the percentage you can grab it. Now for 5-star weapons in total, basically this will pretty much stay the same. So 10% for like the total, 5-star weapons, and for multis it's about 97%, whereas before it was 100%. I do believe that's for the multis, that extra last one you get. If you do multi, you get 11, so the last one is usually guaranteed a 5-star weapon, but now because of the introduction of the burst weapon, that is actually just 97%, which honestly is okay. Now the next thing I want to talk about is going to be the possibility of you now being able to sell your EX plus weapon or your realized gear. So for example, at 0 limit break you get 5 nuggets. For 1 single limit break you get 10 nuggets. For 2 you get 15, and for 3 you get 20. You can also gain additional summon and wild or enhancement points now depending on your rank, which is really great. So if you're rank 101, for example, you're going to get 140% increase in summon points and all those points basically. Now probably a small change for some people, but to me, I think this is really big, is the daily missions is now combined to just 1. So all you need to do is clear 1 mission and you can drop the phone if you've already cleared everything else. So this really saves a lot of time, and for someone like me who likes to play multiple games, or at least I try to, this is huge, especially if you have finished everything else. You can just do 1 quest and drop your phone. Okay, so if you are not satisfied with the increase of your summon points depending on your rank, you can increase this further by purchasing the Mogul Pass. Now the Mogul Pass basically increases the limit of your enhancement points, and this will increase it by 2. So usually you just get the 5,000. This time you will be getting 10,000 points in total. You can also get 2.5 times the rate of the points that you are getting. So this just makes it so that it's easier for you to farm those points. It's not exactly pay to win. It just makes it like time consuming to win. I don't know. It's less time consuming basically. So that's what the Mogul Pass is. It will require you to actually use real life money, not gems, unfortunately. So if you do want to save some time in farming, especially all those summon boards, this is something that you may want to purchase. There's also a premium version of this which you can get a little bit more goodies. You get more gems as well. So it's really going to be up to you whether you want to purchase this or not. Now some people might think, yes, it may be pay to win at a certain extent because you do get extra 5,000 points, which you can actually use to unlock a different character as well. I think you may have a point there to a certain extent, but there's no PvP in this game, so I don't exactly know what you're winning if you're if you purchase this. Again, you just have access to more stuff, but there's no PvP to use it against other players, so you can't really win, if you get what I mean. Okay guys, one last thing before we actually talk about the actual events that are coming to Dissidia Omnia is the update on the token exchange shops. First off, the EX weapon shop will be getting a revamp. All the EX weapons that have come out will be added into the shop. Now I actually don't know, and you can let everyone else know in the comment section below, are they going to be adding the new EX weapons for new characters straight away, just like how they do with the armor token shop. So let me know that, because I actually don't know. I haven't really thought about that once I started recording this video. But I guess the biggest contention for this one, probably a little bit controversy, is the addition of the Mogul token exchange shop. These are basically for people who are purchasing the Mogul Pass. And to be more specific, this is actually for the premium Mogul Pass purchase, because when you purchase the Mogul Pass, especially the premium one, you do get 2 Mogul tokens. Now the thing here is you actually get burst tokens out of the Mogul tokens, which is kind of annoying, but anyway, like it's a roundabout way getting burst tokens, but whatever, let's move on. So basically these burst tokens are rewards that you are going to be getting for challenge quests, which we will go through later on. Basically, if you complete a challenge quest, you get 1 burst tokens, and there is going to be a burst shop like a burst weapon shop. You need 50 of these burst tokens in order to purchase a burst weapon. So essentially, to a certain degree, the Mogul Premium Pass will make it so that you will be getting more tokens, which means you will have quicker access to the burst weapon shop. So you can say it's pay to win, but again, my contention with this is there's no PvP in this game. So if anything, it'll just make it easier for you to actually get a burst weapon, especially if you've been unlucky. And like I said earlier as well, you can actually only use one burst per fight. So even if you have all 3 characters with their burst weapon, once you use one of them, the others are pretty much useless. In terms of burst phase, of course, the stat increase is still pretty high, higher than your EX plus weapon, but still, you know, it's not like game breaking or anything if you actually don't have a burst weapon. I do still believe the LD weapon is a much better weapon to chase for, seeing as it actually gives you a multiple ability usage or skill usage. Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. There might be some people, you know, why is it you have to pay to get these? But again, these are all premium stuff. So while I don't exactly like it because it, you know, it's a paywall basically, to a lesser extent, because you can still get it eventually, but you know, you're not getting it any faster than people who are actually purchasing it. So I don't like it all that much, but to me, again, there's no PvP, so I sort of in my head like, you know, if this game had PvP and you had access to that, then I'll be like, well, that's definitely pay to win. So again, you know, you can probably leave down in the comments below and let me know, guys, what you think. Is this pay to win or not? Alright guys, it's finally time to talk about the actual events that are coming out in Dissidia Opera Omnia. It's been 17 or so minutes already, so let's go through this really quickly. The first one, starting in July 30, is basically the introduction to the burst and LD weapons, and this of course is accompanied by a raid. So the first LD and burst weapon that we are going to be getting is for Squall. And these are the 2 banners that we will be getting for this one. The first one will have his EX weapon in there as well, alongside with Steiner and Oren's EX weapon. The other banner will have, I do believe, Gilgamesh, Tifa, and Kate Sith's weapon as their EX weapon exclusive for that banner. So either or, you can pick which one. You will have the chance to get either his LD and his burst weapon here on either the banner. So like I said, there's 2 banners. You can grab his LD weapon. You just have to pick the one that's much more I guess beneficial for you. Next up, like I mentioned, we are going to be going through the challenge quests. So yeah, more Quistis Sensei stuff here. So basically, challenge quest is unlocked once you complete the chaos difficulty fight. Now, to make it a little bit more simpler, let's go through this. Hey, it's my challenge quest simplification graph, or whatever you want to call it. So this is going to be another chaos difficulty fight. However, there will be no friend units available to you. So if you're familiar with the TCC challenge, most of them will have no friend units and stuff. They will have banned certain characters. You know, you're probably aware of this already. So the next thing is you actually need to use boosted characters for a full completion. So you need 3 boosted characters to do a full completion for the quest. You can actually use any other characters as well. However, you will only be getting a clear on the quest. And if you want that burst token, you do need to complete the quest. So it's now more than ever important to have boosted characters. Okay, moving on, starting from August 3, we get Garlands Loss chapter. You will still have the chance to get Squall's burst weapon here. Of course, you get Garland's LD weapon in this banner, and 3 other EX's weapons that you may or may not want. You get Warrior of Light. You do have Garland's EX there as well as Sephiroth's EX, and those are the ones that you're getting. From August 7 to the 21st of August, you get a Midget Alliance banner. You again will have the chance to get Squall's burst weapon here, alongside with a Midget Alliance EX and her. I keep thinking it's I think it's a her, right? I think so. And her LD weapon, alongside with a Deuce and Lael's EX weapon on this banner as well. Midget Alliance, I think I will be pulling for this one. I do like her kit. It's turn deletion. It's probably not the most ideal character to pull on, since a lot of people are probably saving more for the burst weapons that they like. But yeah, I'll see what happens, but I really do like her kit. I like that idea of turn deletion. Now, from the 12th of August, we will be getting a new Dimensions End once again. It's going to be number 14, I believe. Yeah. So this one will have resistance to range, physical range attacks. Will have multiple elemental resistances, and so it's advised to use your melee in magic based characters. Next up is another co-op event, which is going to be starting from the 12th of August all the way to the 26th. This will feature Shantoto's burst, I nearly said EX, burst and LD weapon for these 2 banners, and I'll say we'll be getting a rework for this one as well. So the first banner, you can get her LD and burst and her EX, alongside with Aiko's and Alice's weapon, EX weapon, and the other banner again have her LD and burst. And then you can get Palom or Porum. People keep saying I mixed them up, but I think Porum is the girl, right? And Palom's the guy. So, but people keep saying that I mixed them up. Pretty sure. Whatever. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. From the 17th of August, we will be getting Ultimecia's Lost chapter. Again, you will be getting the chance to get Shantoto's burst weapon here. It will be alongside Ultimecia's EX and LD weapon. Unfortunately, Ultimecia is not getting her burst weapon just yet. In this banner, there's another chance to get another Squall weapon. His EX returns once again. And of course, we got Pain's EX weapon. And I do believe Pain will get a realization here as well. So correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. The last event that we are going to be getting in the month of August is Dash's event. I hope I pronounced that right. So again, you can grab Shantoto's burst weapon here. Dash will be getting his EX and LD weapon. He is going to be a new character. This will be alongside Onion Knight's EX weapon and Yang's EX weapon. And yeah, all of them will be realizable as well. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. It's a very long video. I do apologize, but there will be timestamps. Yeah, so let's end the video right here. Please do remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does really help my channel, guys, and I really do appreciate it. So it's free, right? So it does really help. So again, like goals for this video is going to be 200 likes. Hopefully I explained everything a little bit clearer or simplified it for you guys. Yeah, leave down in the comments below if you do have any questions, or if you have things that you may have disagreed with me, or things that I made a mistake. Leave them down in the comments below. Just do it nicely if I did miss something. Anyway, make sure to follow me on Twitter and on Facebook as well. This is Munchkins logging off. Thank you very much for watching.